Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Country Outdoors Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Mary O'Neill Phillips, and today is part 2 of our 3-part NWTF Convention special. On this week's episode, we have Tyler Booth, Sydnie Wells, Leon Meitzin, Drake White, Casey Tyndall, and Colby Acuff. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for watching. Check it out.
G'day mates, it's your host Mary O'Neill Phillips and you are listening to Country Outdoors Podcast.
If I were the devil, this world would be my playground.
I'm here with Colby Acuff, and we were just talking about, this is Colby's first time to convention. And so, tell me your experience walking in or parking. You got valet, so that's all right.
I've lived here for 3 years, and I've never been here before.
That's kind of crazy. You wouldn't really have a reason to.
I wouldn't have a reason to stay at the hotel.
True.
So after valet, I walked in the hotel, and it was just like walking into Caesar's Palace in Vegas.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just a sea of camo, and this show has just grown so much. But it's cool because it's in Nashville, and I feel like you just gotta feel, you're surrounded by your people. There's no egos. It's just like everybody loves the same thing here. Bird hunting. So let's talk about your season, okay?
Yeah.
Did you get to hunt much?
Yeah, I got on. We went to Oklahoma and Arkansas in January, and so we got about 7 days in. I was hoping for 15 to 20.
Yeah.
But when we got hit with the ice storm here,
Yeah.
that was.
Did you have damage?
I was without power for about 3 days, so not bad in comparison to everybody else. A lot of people had it way worse. So
Some people are still
Oh, yeah.
really, Nashville got hit really bad.
we got lucky, but I did get to go. I went duck hunting in Arkansas the week before that, and so that was really good.
Did you get to do steelhead?
I didn't get to get on steelhead this year, but I fished a ton.
Okay.
I was in a boat probably 35 days this summer, which is a lot for me right now. And we got to fish all over for everything, so it was really fun. That was great.
What was the highlight of the fall then?
I got married.
Oh yeah, of course.
I got married. That's my highlight of the fall.
Tell us about that. You share what you want to share.
Yeah, no, I mean, me and my wife, we've been together for 9 years, and I've walked off a plane from Green Bay after a show with Joan Party, and I've basically started wedding week. Got done with wedding week. We drove back from Idaho to Nashville.
Did you have a honeymoon?
Not yet,
Okay.
but we are going to go to Hawaii.
Nice.
It's kind of the move.
Why Hawaii?
We actually got gifted a nice wedding gift down in Hawaii.
Oh, that's
so
great.
We're going to use that.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Oh,
great.
lovely. Okay, let's talk turkey hunting.
Yeah.
So obviously this is NWTF Convention, your first time here. The spring is around the corner. We're in Nashville. The numbers have been coming back up over the last year. I've been seeing tons of birds around on my friends' properties and stuff like that. Do you have any plans for this spring to turkey hunt?
Potentially.
Okay. We were talking about that last year, I think, and we were saying we need to line something up.
Yeah, I'd love to go. I did a lot of turkey hunting back home, but yeah, just because I'm from the Northwest, I didn't realize how
Big it was down here.
how huge it
Oh, yeah.
is. Yeah. And, back home, we got a lot of birds.
Yeah.
And I think you can shoot 10 a year. And
Do people care about them that much up there? Yeah.
I mean, we would do it because it's off season in the spring. There's nothing else, you can really do. So we go hunt turkeys and stuff. And it was fun. And I've always liked turkey hunt.
Yeah.
But it is a religion down here.
For sure. Down here, it is the northerns or the deer or anything like that. And getting permission down here, up when you go out west or northwest, you can door knock and they're like, the stupid birds, fine, go shoot them. That's what I love about going out to Montana and stuff, because they're like, you want to hunt that turkey? And I'm like, yes, Miriam.
And they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. They are.
Everywhere.
But down here, it's no, people don't share their properties. They will not drop a pin. They will not share a pin. It is very selective.
I know. We went on tour with Muscadine and Bloodline last year. And,
they're crazy about turkeys. Yeah.
Gary is on it. I talking to Gary about it, man. And, he gets as excited for turkey hunting as I do for ducks.
Yeah.
It's like the crossover there. But I have spent quite a bit of time in a turkey blind as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Music-wise, what's going on at the moment that you're excited about? What's happening this year?
So this year we have a tour on sale right now called the Handmade Horsepower Tour. We just have the spring dates out right now, but we have a lot of really great stuff. I have a record finished. So that record will come out sometime this spring as well.
Are you doing vinyl?
We'll do vinyl, of course, yeah, as always. But I would say expect a lot of music this year. A lot of music, more than we've probably ever done in the past. That's kind of my goal to.
So, like, are you just putting out single? Like, you've got a record, and then you're just going to keep putting out singles, or
Yeah, we got some exciting stuff. I think
any collabs?
not yet,
Yeah.
but like I said, there's going to be a lot of music this year. So this record is done, and I'm hoping to maybe do up to 3 more.
Oh wow!
So a lot.
Because you've just got the songs already there.
No, I just
Just
want
the
to.
You just feel it.
If I
Yeah.
have to write them in the studio, I will. If I write them outside the studio, great. But I'm kind of, I don't know. I have this feeling that the way music is being treated right now, I feel like you're trying to keep up with all this output, and it's such a saturated market. So you can do it 2 ways. You can either pull back, or you can really rev it up. And so you might do a little of both. But I think this year I'm gonna try and see how much I can put out.
Yeah, exactly, and see what that does, and and maybe you will absolutely love it. Maybe you will burn out and be like, actually, I'm going to go back to doing 1 record a year. But if you've got the fire in your belly and you want to do it, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a year-to-year thing. And actually, the strongest thing with burnout only happens with lack of direction.
Yeah,
I've done it both ways.
yeah.
I've burned out before, and I've also, if you have direction that you know what you want to do, it's hard to burn out because there's always the next step.
Will your missus come on the road with you?
She'll go to shows.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's jealous of like the travel situation.
For sure.
You know?
People think it's so glamorous, and it's like, even with us with like hunting and filming a hunting show,
yeah.
the burnout, if for you guys, you're playing shows night to night to night, well, we're turkey hunting day from day, or deer hunting day for day. And if you didn't secure a bird, that's exhausting.
Yeah, and I dipped my toe in that world as well this year.
Are you planning spots like around where you're going?
Yeah, so we did how many? So her Fin and Feather, we did. I think we did 8 fishing episodes, and we actually, unfortunately, only got 2 duck hunting episodes this year. But they're really, really great, and we'll keep trickling videos.
Are they on
of
YouTube?
them. Yes, they're just in their own Fin and Feather play. Yes.
And are you building that YouTube up for like hunting stuff?
Yeah, so it's all fly fishing and duck hunting related videos. But it's all conservation based, and like I wanted to make something that, the main characters are the guides and the outfitters.
That's cool.
And-
That's
and-
your background.
Yeah, and I just feel like sometimes the guides and the outfitters, they don't get to be the star of the show.
Yeah.
And so for me, I was like, listen, I'll play client, be perfect,
Yeah.
and my perk is I get to go fishing and we do a little interview with them, and they just talk about like what they do for conservation, what the area is like, any trials or successes that they've had in the area. We just kind of walk through, trying to more or less, I guess, educate the client on
Yeah.
what it means to them.
Yeah. And I know, but for those people who haven't watched our episode yet, just because you're touching on the guiding thing,
Yeah.
can you kind of share that experience of like what you used to do for how long, and then how you got to Nashville?
Yeah, so I'm probably the only fly fishing guide turned country music artist around. I know there's some songwriters that used to be guides as well, but I was a fly fishing guide for about 3.5 years back in Idaho, and I loved every minute of it. And I never really thought, honestly, I never thought music would take off. So I planned on being a guide the rest of my life. But I released a record called If I Were the Devil, and there was no budget, no team, nothing behind it, and it just went. And I got the cards presented to me, and I took it. But guiding has always been a huge, huge piece of me. And my first love was duck hunting. My second love was fly fishing.
Yeah.
And my third love was music.
Has that changed now?
No. No. I mean, I love all 3 of them. They're, neck and neck.
And if one went away, you would like, how would that work? Say music went away. What would you, for whatever reason?
I'd go back to being a guide.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably end up in a duck club somewhere guiding. That would be probably, I don't know. I go back and forth on it. My original goal was to be a duck hunting guide. But my dad, I don't think, wanted me to be a duck hunting guide.
Why?
I don't know. I just think he wanted me to go to college.
That's right.
He really wanted me to.
Yeah, it was finance or something, wasn't it? Or
I got an econ degree, yeah, in economics, that's a whole other story.
but that's probably, have you used that for your career?
Yeah, I use it every day. And I really love economics. I really do. I fell in love with it. And actually, that's another piece of the story. Is I graduated college. I actually graduated fairly well somehow. I never went, but I got a good grade. And but I was offered a stockbroking job, which I turned down to be a fly fishing guy.
He was a stockbroker. What?
I know.
Hair, like, did you look different back then?
I was clean cut. Yeah, I could barely grow a beard. But
Wild.
yeah, I mean, I was prepped for white collar for sure,
sure.
but I never wanted to. Or
Yeah.
blue collar heart,
Yeah.
So
I need to do an AI transition of you like this. We're gonna insert that right here, like flashback to like what his doppelganger finance dude version would be. Right.
there is a photo because I used to sell real estate. So there is a photo of me out there, my real estate photo. I'm 20. Well, I probably took it when I was 19 years old because I got my license when I was 18. And it's clean cut. I'm sunburnt as hell as this photo, but it is wild.
I'm imagining like of one of the characters in the Anchorman fight. You know, when like all these people come out, you're like one of these versions.
I'm completely clean shaven. I have a nice coif hairdo.
Did you know your wife then?
Yeah. We probably met about that time.
So she's like really been there for the whole transition.
I met her my freshman year of college. We started dating my junior year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But she knew you, like you had the same soul, but you were like, yeah.
She knew me as a real estate agent, a fly fishing guide, like a lot of things,
Yeah.
She's been through it all.
So that's why you're like, I got to put a ring on that finger.
Yeah, I've given her plenty of chances to walk away. So
All right, well, I'm going to wrap this up with, if there is a outdoor tradition, your favorite outdoor tradition, what is an outdoor tradition that you hope never dies?
sunrise in a duck pond. Absolutely. Right before shooting light when they're all flying and you don't even, you might be loading your gun, but it's just the calm before the storm. Everything is so sweet and the birds are working. They're getting up. We got a little bit of sun. That's the best. Can't beat it.
Add a little bit of mist in there too. And that's like, for me, for a turkey hunt, if I've got a low mist and the sunrise is cracking through that is just my favorite type of morning.
Absolutely.
And then when that sun cracks through and there's some heat in it, and especially if you're out in the mountains, like somewhere like out west, and you've been cold, and then that first sun hits you, you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about the mornings, though.
For sure.
I always say, though.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for coming. This is your
Yep.
first NWTF, so hope you have a good time and go and check everything out. Guys,
Yeah.
Colby Acuff.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
The Country Outdoors is proud to partner with Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America since 1829 and the official light lager of the outdoors. Hi.
Hello, Mary.
So excited to have you on.
It's like I haven't seen you since yesterday.
I know. Okay, firstly, how hectic is this crowd?
This is unbelievable. This is just so much fun. It's a Friday morning and it is packed here at NWTF.
I know, and you guys have your booth for the first year, which is super exciting.
It's so exciting. We have the Slockmaster booth, 1752. If you're watching this, it's over. If you're here, go check it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, sitting in front of us is something that you and I have been working on for a while now, and we're about to officially be selling, but we just soft launched with a billboard downtown. The swimwear is complete. Let's talk about it.
So exciting. So what we have in front of us is just three pieces technically, because we have a cute little scrunchie here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mary and I have been working on the drop for a while now. We were going to launch last spring. We wanted to wait, get it all right. And this is some elite swimwear for resort wear that we're really excited to share with everybody.
Yeah. So the pattern that you see here, this is called the Coolabah bark. It's inspired by the stripping bark on a gum tree in Australia. We really wanted to do something that spoke to women in our industry that love camouflage, but we wanted to elevate it. And also for men too, we've got board shorts too, but do something a bit more elevated that wasn't as dark, was a bit more brighter, fresher, that you could wear fishing, you could wear around the resort and also throw on a sarong or some shorts and go straight to the bar or straight to the lunch as well.
So this is the Rashgar one piece, and it's going to be great for diving. If you're going to go down to the Keys, go to the Bahamas, really wherever in Florida or out on the East Coast, this is a great piece, and that's what we're excited about. Like we fish a lot, we love to hunt, but this is a very exotic feel, beautiful, beautiful pattern, and yeah, we all like to do things in the outdoors, and why not bring some elevated swimwear to it.
To the lifestyle that we love. And then also on top of that, it's made from recycled nylon. So we're leaning into the conservation factor. It's low MOQ. So we're kind of steering away from the fast fashion, which is actually damaging the planet, and we're leaning into recycled, which speaks to our conservation side. So we're really excited about it. There's 6 pieces that we're dropping with, including a men's board short, and that's coming out in about a month. So by the time this airs on the podcast, it will be out. You can head to thedrop.com. We might have already sold out, not sure. When it comes out, because we are low MOQ, make sure you get in line and get yours quickly because they will sell out.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I am
too. Mary's good. She hit everything on it. So,
well, you worked on it too. The pieces that aren't here, obviously, the bikinis, there's a swimsuit, there's the men's short, and we both collaborated on both of those. So I think that they speak to different women's bodies, to the millennials and the Gen Zers.
Yeah, no, there is truly a piece for everybody. And one thing that's so special about it, Mary and I were sitting on a boat in Louisiana, Venice. We were tuna fishing, and we were talking about some ideas that we had. We were talking about the outdoor industry too. And she goes, I have something that's coming out and I can trust you. I want to share it with you. I want to do a swimwear line. So she came out with this pattern. She saw how excited I was. And a couple of weeks later, she called me. She's like, you want to do this together? So that's how it kind of came together as a partnership.
And it just made sense because, I grew up in Australia. So I grew up with a farm, but also on the beach, like being a beach bunny and loving outdoor sports and like the, surfing, skating, all of that stuff. And then Sydnie is a bikini bunny, like maybe not a bikini bunny. She's a, speaks well. Yeah, you love wearing a bikini. Yeah. She's cute. She's young. She's also into water sports. She's super active. And so I feel like it just made a lot of sense because we speak to different generations, but also the same. And we both were on the same page about where we want it to be. We want it to be very high quality, elevated, and something that didn't currently exist in the market. Whereas a lot of the swimsuits that you currently see that are in camouflage patterns are this old, like very cheap, very like cheap looking, tacky, not very classy at all. And this is like classy, elevated, makes you feel good, made high quality. So
look good, really feel good. If you want to be as sexy or as conservative as you want, it's, again, for everybody.
Obviously, you've got the zip.
You can zip all the way up.
Yeah, and down. So, and then the back has a keyhole in it. So it'll all be available for you guys to shop and check out. Let's also talk about what's going on with you this year. You've got Barstools has been blowing up, obviously, Barstool Outdoors. You've got so many different projects that you're working on there.
Yeah, we got a lot of fun projects. So it's funny because I'm in my booth and everybody's like, oh, you're everywhere all the time. Yes, I am. It's so much fun.
I'll have a double.
We're constantly traveling and bringing new people in the outdoors, especially on the Barstool side of thing. It's so much fun. It's a completely different audience at Barstool Sports. But it's also fun because we've been doing some bass fishing tournaments. We've been taking some people hunting for the first time, duck hunting, turkey hunting, and also including them in my space and meeting my friends like Mary.
Yeah.
So a lot of fun things constantly happening and keeping life very busy.
And let's talk about that as well. Like, obviously, I feel I could say safely that you're now in your dream job as a creator. And let's talk about like that whole process of like going there, starting there. And because there's probably people watching that are like, oh, I don't know, should I start a YouTube, blah, blah, blah. Maybe give some advice to that too.
Yeah. So I've been my dream job at Barstool Sports for 5 years now, which is crazy to say. Mary was with me when I interviewed for the first time.
A camper at the front of my old janky housing.
Yeah. And then a second interview too, we were together at duck camp. It's crazy. It's just a full circle. Yeah. But anybody can chase their dreams, especially in the outdoor industry. I always tell people, which is the craziest thing, I went from television, strictly television, where you had these high-end cameras, to now social media and YouTube, and all you need is your iPhone.
Yeah.
Where you can put 4K 60 on it. I just filmed a whole YouTube video just on my iPhone crappie fishing.
It's crazy.
Or put a GoPro to your head or your chest. So the biggest thing too, you see all these great content creators, influencers, and one thing that makes them great is being uniquely themselves and their own personality. People want to see their own personality. They don't really want to see you
trying to be someone else.
Yeah, because you see these people blow up. You're like, oh, maybe I should try to do what they're doing. No, do what's unique to yourself. That's my one piece of advice, because people just love you. You could be the craziest person in the world and make no sense, but people love you because you're crazy, you know?
But I think as well, like having grit and being prepared to work hard, because anything that comes easy doesn't necessarily stay, and you have to have hard hard work ethic to be able to be successful and stay for a long time, I feel like, in this industry.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there's waves as well in this industry of like things that come and go, and being satisfied with riding it when there's lows and still doing it and waiting for another high.
Yeah, you gotta adapt because every day social media changes, and that's our world now. We got AI too, which is crazy. But I had somebody say, you can't have like AI can't create you.
Yeah.
The AI mimics other people. So yeah, like you said, there's a lot of grit. You got to keep posting, keep filming if you want to be in this kind of industry, and if you fail, it's okay. Just keep going. The worst thing that can happen is somebody says no, or you get declined, and then you just keep trying.
For sure. Let's talk about your dad. What was it like growing up with Tim Wells as your dad?
Crazy. Tim Wells is a unique, one-of-a-kind killer. I'm 28 now, so I can really brag on him as an adult. He is my dad, so I think he's the best at word. But somebody came up to him today and said, "How does it feel to be the biggest killer in this building?" And he was like, I mean, being Tim as my dad, I didn't even know he was in the outdoor industry until I was in middle school. He told me he sold number 2 pencils for a living. Bleeped him, naive.
What a like thing to make up.
Tim Wells.
Things. And every time I text with him, it's just the most sarcastic text back and forth, and I feel like I can give it to him and he doesn't take it personally at all.
Yeah, no, that's why I like people who come to his booth and actually know him, because he can be sarcastic and they laugh because they watch him. They know that's his personality. It makes me nervous when people come up to him and don't know him and he's sarcastic. I'm like, oh, well, he's this good.
Is he being rude? Is he like?
Yeah, no, this was just a way of life. This is the coolest dream ever to be here at NWTF, because growing up, we just grew up in the outdoors, hunting and fishing. And I'm from a small town, and that's all we did. We had fish fries every other day because we just went outside and we caught our crappie and our mustard bluegill and cooked our fish. And yeah, I don't know, Tim Wells is just any old country dad that's probably here with their kid. He's the same way, just raised in the outdoors.
Well, and with this being his first time at NWTF, was it his first time attending or his first time having a show?
First time having a show. He's been here probably about 6 years ago was the last time he was here.
And it's grown so much since then.
Yeah, so much. And I've been here for the past 4 years. Yeah. And so I just kept telling him we have to have a Slockmaster booth, because every time I'm here, they're like, "Where's your booth? Where's your dad?"
Yeah.
So
I think, and it's not just because like we have a presence here, but I genuinely think NWTF is the best convention of all the conventions that happen throughout the year, because the people that are coming are our people. It's great entertainment. It's in Nashville. It's just so much fun over a 3-day period, where I'm get kind of burnt out on some of the other ones. Whereas this one, I'm always like so excited. Even though I'm tired, I'm like, I see the people I really love. It's like good music, good energy, good shops, all that.
Yeah, nightlife's great. There's a lot of exclusive parties as well, where people just go to socialize and meet each other. And it's pretty cool to see also how big Mossy Oak has just like, their booth is bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And like even y'all's, it's just everything is expanding so much. And like this little village that you guys have created, I remember when
we were on the other side of that curtain, and it was literally just the camper, and we had a bar stool, and there was an artist like sitting on the bar stool.
Yes, there was only like half the crowd, and it's just crazy how much has changed over the past 4 years.
It was 50,000 attendees when we first started doing this, and now it was like last year was 84,000, so I'm sure this year it's going to be maybe 90,000. That's crazy.
I know, it's crazy, but it's awesome. I remember wearing, in college, I was in a sorority, and I had a Mossy Oak Bottomland, Better in Bottomland, Kappa Kappa Gamma shirt, and that was a little red mug in my sorority.
Hey, sorry, 6 years ago, no one was wearing Bottomland.
That was you're gonna sit here.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
12 years ago now.
6 years ago, no one was wearing Bottomland. Now it's like, it might as well be the Bottomland convention.
Yeah. Honestly, though, it's great. I love it. Everything's been. I've been a Bottomland wearer since I was 18.
In diapers.
Yeah. So it was diapers. So it was really like the army camo. Yeah. Everybody used to hunt in the army camo, and you probably remember we were so little, and then eventually they went out of style. We got Mossy Oak, but yeah. I just remember it's just crazy.
Well, they've just done such a good job on building community and like having the kids stuff and all of that. Like they even have these kids newspapers this year that it's like where is it? Has somebody got the newspaper there?
Oh yeah, I saw that yesterday.
They've got one for kids and one for adults, and it's like they just like, I think that's why Mosioka's just had so much success, because look, the boys are on the ground, they're shaking people's hands, they don't make themselves bigger or better than anybody else, and they make it about family, the woodsman. And then they've got one which is for, Mr. Fox, and then there's a junior woodsman with like the kids on the front.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're leaning into this nostalgia that we all love, and they're the best.
I love this show just because it is a consumer show, which is really great. They've gone to a couple other shows that aren't consumer shows, and this is just so different. It's impactful. It's cool to see like the quote unquote celebrities or, old school television people walking around, and then once the content creation into the influencer, like there's
so many levels of like outdoor entertainers that are here.
Music industry brought that in 6 years ago. So it's really cool to see, and it's really fun to see all the fans and people who just genuinely love the outdoors. With my parents, we like to say our fellow rednecks.
Yeah.
Some people in the South are like, all right, redneck. I'm like, no, I'm from the North. I'm a Yankee, so redneck's a good thing.
I like redneck. I've got friends that live in South Carolina that want to be called low countrymen.
Yeah,
that's it. And I'm like, why is redneck offended? They're like, I'm a low countryman. I'm like, okay, dude. Like,
yeah, I'm a redneck from Central Illinois, small town.
I'm a redneck from Australia.
I got a little girly girl in me too, though.
Yeah, me too, obviously. Okay, so let's just talk about the spring and your plans for the rest of the year for hunting. I know you got the wedding coming up too. We don't have to dig into all the details on that.
Yeah.
But plans for the spring.
I also got a bass boat, so I'm a little bit of a bass fisherman, or woman. I'm going down to Florida. I'll try to kill an Osceola, try to catch a big 10-pound bass, hopefully. If anybody has any recommendations, secret spots to share with me, send me some pins. Not a whole lot of turkey hunting, though. I'm going to be Illinois, Georgia.
Yeah. Like a good 3 or 4.
And I'm getting married, so I'm trying to focus on that. And also got some other my girlfriends getting married, trying to be, live my personal life too. Try not to have hunting completely consume me like it usually does.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a couple of hunts. Try to shoot a turkey's head off with my bow. Maybe my 410.
I love it. And then focusing on the swimwear, because we'll be getting this one out, and then we're working on our second launch as well straight after that. So this is the Cooler Bar collection, and we won't tease what the next one is because we want everybody to be excited about that too. So thank you, Sydnie, for stopping by. The drop will be completely on sale in about 1 month. It's dropping for this spring. This is the Cooler Bar collection by Sydnie and myself, and we're so excited to bring it to you guys soon.
2 peas in a pod coming out with their own swimwear. Thank you. Thanks, Mary.
A lot of us grew up with Field and Stream, dreaming about our next cast, our next hunt, and our next outdoor escape. And now you can read the best of outdoor storytelling the way it was meant to be read. Field and Stream is back in print. For a limited time, new members get a bonus journal with their first delivery, and premium members also get a members-only hat. This special offer is only available for a limited time, so join the 1871 Club today and head to fieldandstream.com/1871club.
We're just crazy Catholics, backwards Baptists, Crystal Methodists. Amen.
Casey Tyndall, my girl, welcome to the show. Oh, it's so good to have you here.
I'm so thankful to be here again.
No, you're no stranger to this show. You've been playing. Well, you played the Opry show for Mossy Oak. Have you played the watering hole? Yeah, you played the pub crawl. Mm-hmm. We did the pub crawl, and you've played in here so many times. So this is how do you feel being back?
I love it. I mean, I feel like it's just a big room of family. You don't even know anybody, but it's all family. Yeah. They'd all invite you in to have dinner, so.
I love it. Let's talk about everything that's been going on in your life since the last time I saw you. How's mom life?
Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm ready to have another one. I've told my team it's about to happen again, and just get over it.
How did you adjust to what routines did you guys kind of set in place for having kids and touring and stuff like that?
Honestly, we just kind of flopped into it because, as you know, my husband is a firefighter, and we have no family here.
Yeah.
His family's from upstate New York, and mine's from North Carolina. So when I say we wing it, I mean we wing it. And I have no answer to that question.
Yeah,
other than God, literally.
For sure. Some days are more stressful than others, but it's so important to just keep your family together, isn't it?
So, I mean, it's the most important thing. And honestly, it seems crazy as a new artist to have a kid, right? But it has made everything so much better. Having kids is the way to go. How you can do it. I mean, it is, babies bring babies bring blessings. And someone told me that when I was first pregnant with Sterling, and they're so right. I mean, just doors open that shouldn't have been opened. And that's just God. God will prepare a way for your kid. That means you're going to get things that you really might not deserve.
For sure.
Because God has a plan for your kid.
Well, and also I think like you have to then become somebody that is like, or you could not. You could become nobody that's like capable of looking after a kid, but like hopefully you become somebody who is a great parent to that person. And then in return, also, I think people trust people that have kids more because you have someone that you have to keep alive. And so there's a responsibility that comes with that kind of changes. And so you're like, yeah, they've got a kid. They have to keep food on their table.
Yep.
I can put some stock in that person.
And plus, I'm just understanding what the mom instinct and the hormone is, and that like I've done stuff and I'm like, how did I do that? Literally because you're a mom.
Yeah.
Like, how did I move that couch? Because my kid decided to crawl over the top of it and get stuck with it. It's just stuff like that is just like, that can only be God.
The mom thing is such a funny thing. So Zach will be like, he says like every time he leaves for like a week, I rearrange the house.
Oh,
because I'll be like, oh, I'm not liking the vibe of this. And he'll come back and I'll have moved like couches through doorways and into other rooms. And he'll be like, how did you do that? When I'm home, you're asking for help for everything. And I'm like, because I don't have to do it when you're here. But like when you're gone, I'm like, I'm just going to get this done now, right now. She's asleep in the next 2 hours. Couch is getting moved into another room and I've got that super strength that comes.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I've just been in awe of like, almost feel like I'm having an out of body experience. Even 2.5 years later, like just looking at myself like, how are we doing this? I don't know. It can only be God.
Yeah. Let's talk about like moving to this town. It has just changed so much. Even in the last like 5-10 years, it's changed so much. So from your perspective, there's good and bad, obviously. I think like right now is super cool that there's this like Jesus revival happening across Nashville. There's also, this underbelly thing that's going on too with like human trafficking and all of this stuff too. But from your perspective as an artist, how has this town changed in like all the ways from music to just like living here?
I moved here 11 years ago, and when I moved here, it was still shake a hand, make a fan. So it was like you road dogged it. And I was one of those that was on the road doing over 100 dates a year. Half of them would be playing a hole in the wall to be able to afford to go open for the Granger Smiths of the world the next night. And after COVID, that just went away. It's almost like if you're not selling super hard tickets, the shows just really aren't happening because you can't afford to get your van out of the driveway. I mean, it's a lot of things. I blame most of that on like the COVID time. But as far as the spiritual aspects, I think, just even in the past year, really since I became a mom, I feel like my spirituality has just kind of exploded a little bit, and everything has changed. The way I write music, the things I will say. I mean, I've always thought I was a Christian, but it just feels like it's a whole nother level now. And really seeing the spiritual realm play out, like you were just saying.
It's like the discernment.
Yeah. And I think, like, if you asking me how has Nashville changed, I think everybody's answer is going to be different.
For sure.
For how their walk of life is going. And mine right now, man, like, I have a record deal not in Nashville.
Where is it?
New York, LA. But it's one of those things where it's changing a lot, and the independent artist is kind of winning right now, which is really cool. Like, I have a record deal, but it's still technically like an independent label.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool to see, because I feel like a lot of people are getting a chance that maybe weren't before.
Does that keep you in more control of what you're putting out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, my label lets me pick all my songs.
Yeah. Which is not normal at all. Like, and also in terms of, I was talking about this with Michael Ray, like how it used to be is you'd choose one song, send it to radio, and then like hold the record. And now it's like you can put out whatever you want, whenever you want.
Yeah, totally. I think one thing that gets crazy now is the, management, team members, everybody is kind of like, oh, the new system is every 6 weeks you got to have songs out. The hard part about that now is I feel like the artistry gets kind of squashed.
watered down because it's not authentic. Like you're like pushed.
You're just trying to get music out, and so you don't really have time. I mean, back in the day, it was you toured for a season of the year, and then the other part you wrote and you lived to be able to write the songs. Or, whatever. Spend time with your family if you weren't a writer. And I feel like that's gone, which is
Challenging.
this is the first time I'm really feeling that. Like I just put a record out. It's like, hey, time to keep going, or you're gonna get lost. It's like, oh man, that kind of sucks. But it's good. I mean, I'm blessed to be able to do it. So and figure it out.
And you're in a season now probably where there's a lot to write about because you're a mom and all of that stuff and so much change. Obviously we're at NWTF Convention. Let's talk turkey hunting. Let's talk hunting just in general because I know you grew up in a hunting camp and I think that's a great thing to be sharing with the audience. So let's talk about that.
I grew up in a hunting club that was so cool. I know some people look down on this, but we would run dogs during the day and we would still hunt in the afternoon. And it was just so cool. I found Jesus there. Not just like, I grew up going to church. I mean, like, I found like, Jesus is my friend there. And I just really am thankful for the years growing up there and the friends that will always be from there. And hunting was like a big deal. I could not wait to get out of school on Friday to go straight to the hunt club and hang out with my friends, get up. We would stay.
Are you one of the other girls that hunted?
There was a lot of us at this club, actually.
That's cool.
Yep, sure was. And that was really cool to see. It was almost half.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like all the daughters,
Oh, that's cool.
And it was really cool. We would stay up way too late watching movies and then have to be up. Like I would sleep in my jeans that I would wear under my like suit, just to wake up an hour later and just, it was awesome.
Well, that's awesome.
I miss it sometimes. Like I want to start one day here,
A Music City one. Oh, that's a good idea. You've got to find the land that's free. That's the problem with here. It's so challenging. I know that you had hunted down at Mossy Oak one time as well, and you were telling me before, which I think is hilarious. Tell us about that and your experience trying to get up the tree stand.
So I really hope they can hear me. They probably can't. They're all like mingling and stuff. They probably come up here and pick.
They can watch this later.
Yeah, but they did the Sticks and Strings series, and me and Megan Patrick went down. It was such an honor to get to hunt there. And like, growing up, like we all just kind of hunted the same way.
Yeah.
The deer stands weren't that tall. Okay. And they were like kind of rifle stands that we would like fold the wedge back and bow hunt out of. And so we were bow hunting, and it was like the first hunt, it was one of those stands, and that was great. I was like, oh, this is gonna be awesome. The rest of the hunts, all the stands were like way too advanced for me, and I was so embarrassed because I did not have the upper body strength to get up in these stands. And Owen was my camera guy, and bless his heart, I mean, he was like coaching me, really helping me. I've never worn a harness, which is hilarious because you think,
that's crazy.
It's crazy, but the stands were really safe and like, whatever. And this was the first time wearing a harness.
And you're like, what is this thing? And now you're like, oh, I'm actually meant to wear this every time I hunt.
Exactly. And I went from being like Miss Bad Mighty Hunter to like, nope. And one of the stands I couldn't get up into, they showed me a picture of what walked by that stand. Monster. Like 30 minutes after we eased out to go to a different stand that we thought I could get us to. Because I couldn't go from the top rung to push myself up onto the platform.
That is challenging though. I had like several hunts, and even with Ty before, where like I've like gotten to like second peg from the top, where it's like that you've got to get from like that last step into the tree.
Yep.
And I'm like, you're hanging. Like, you'll be hanging and you're scared and you're like, how do I get, when I'm hunted by myself and that's happened. We used to hunt out at this spot in Kansas, and the outfitter was like 6'4", and he'd hang all the stands. And so I'd be climbing up the tree stands and I'd be like pulling myself up. I'm like, they're not hanging this for 5'5" girls, for 5-foot people.
Yeah.
I know, I could play.
Megan made me feel so much better because that stand that the big deer walked by right after we eased out of there, she went the next night because they were like, hey, if you can get in that stand, like this is a big old deer. And she did let me know. She was like, I got in there, but I barely got in there. And she's like, she's
I feel like she's so stubborn too that she's like, I'm going to get in there.
Well, to be honest, that was me. And I just was like, and Owen was already up there, and bless his heart, he was already set up. And I literally looked at him and I was like, Bro, I can't.
They couldn't pull you up?
When I tell you, it was like, it was not it for me. And I felt, but that is probably the most embarrassed I've been in my whole life. But was really thankful for the experience.
That's hilarious.
And every time I see these guys, we end up just laughing about it.
That's all right. That's the best. Tell me about music and what's going on this year.
Some wild stuff,
yeah?
actually. I'm putting out my first rock single,
Cool.
which is
Why?
it's just
So it's been in you, yeah.
It's in me.
Yeah, you inherit it.
I have one of my label mates is Pop Evil, which is, I mean, if you've heard Torn to Pieces, like that band. They sent me a song and they were just like, we think you would crush this. And I'm like, I think I would crush it with you. And here we are. And so they're on it, and it's coming out February 27th. It's called Maybe You're the One. And I'm really, really excited.
So will you do some touring then with them? Maybe put that out there. Like I can see like an East Coast kind of like West Coast tour.
Maybe not. But we're going to do it. It's fine. Whatever. I am going to pop up and do it with them at a show.
A big one.
Very soon.
Out California?
No, it'll be somewhere else.
Vegas.
Stay tuned.
Vegas. I'm just going to hit Vegas. New York. East Coast. It's Red Rocks.
You wouldn't even.
Definitely not a Red Rock. Yeah. Do they do rock at Red Rocks?
Oh, I'm sure.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. It's I can't say it yet, but I'm really excited. It's gonna be a big deal, and we're really looking forward to it.
Okay, so that's what's happening right now is like the rock. Is it a rock album?
Not yet,
but maybe.
Who knows?
Yeah.
We're kind of just seeing what the single does, but I'm just so country. Like the things I say, like, you know, so we might have a few like rock singles here and there, kind of like this one.
Yeah.
But right now, the next record that we're going in this month to start cutting is pretty much this, you know, the same as the last record, which I love. Like the last record, is where I finally found my sound.
Yeah,
and so we're going for it again.
Yeah, that single that I made you play before, that Place for Me, track with Dylan Marlowe. I don't know why that one just hit me so hard when I first heard it, and it was just I just feel like everyone who lives and breathes this like lifestyle, country music and hunting and outdoors understands that.
Yeah.
You know, and it speaks to somebody in their life that's passed or the old truck. Like we have this conversation all the time. Zach had an old Chevy that it was like his first truck was like 1993, 1994 truck, and he sold it to get his like next new truck, and he always talks about that truck because he wished he'd never sold it, and just all those like
so same thing with me, and that's where this song kind of came from. So I wrote it with one of my best friends, Jenna Master.
I love Jenna.
I know Jason Nix and Jason Gant, and actually I think Abram, her husband, is running around here somewhere. He said he was gonna stop by, but I called her the night before the write because it was kind of coming down to the wire. I needed to cut songs, and I had some wine. And my grandfather had just passed a few years before, and I just happened to be thinking about him, and I was like, man, if he can get into heaven, I definitely am going to heaven. But also my first truck was my other grandfather's truck.
Oh.
And he passed away when I was maybe 10. I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And he had told my dad before he passed, he was like, give the truck to Casey, she wants it. And so that was my truck in high school.
I got chills just then.
And so when I moved to Nashville, my dad, I don't want to try not to cry. My dad, he has like a company truck, and then he had a personal truck. But when I moved to Nashville, gas was $4 a freaking gallon, and I couldn't do it. And I didn't want to run it in the ground. It was a 01 Z71. I mean, I had this thing tricked out. And my stepdad put like Pioneer speakers and 212s under the extended cab back seat, you know. And but I just couldn't afford to bring it with me. And so my dad sold his personal truck to be able to keep, you know, his dad's truck for me to be able to afford again. I would just have to buy it back from him.
So it's still around?
Well,
oh, don't, I'm going to cry.
We had to sell it this past year. But the good news is that I know where it went, and eventually I'll get it back. So, but it was a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
But that's what, I mean, the whole thing about store your treasures up in heaven.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of physical things, but the few things, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be waiting on us, you know?
It's really important to remember that when those sentimental things whether you say, people have house fires and things like that, and they're like, just put the photos, and it's like, it's not even something expensive or whatever. It's like the sentiment behind it, but just remembering like we have to put it in heaven and not here. And like what you said,
I
like
feel like
dogs too.
whenever that happens and people are like, the family photos, I'm like, whenever you get your house in heaven, I always think those photos are going to be sitting there waiting for you.
I love that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just thing. That's beautiful.
Well, I'm going to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
Well, two. Okay, so two. First one is, what is an outdoor tradition that you hope? I asked you this actually on the red carpet. Did I ask you? Oh, the CMAs. Let's talk about that too. That was your first CMAs, and I
My
was
first one.
I felt like, I was so proud to see you there. I was like,
I couldn't believe I was there, honestly. I felt like I got snuck in a little bit,
no, it was also, no, that was like, because they're so selective about that award show. And I know a lot of people that, like, I'm really shocked that they've never been to the CMAs award before.
Honestly, I wasn't, if it wasn't, I mean, I'll be real honest. My manager would probably kill me right now. If it wasn't for the fact that I participated in a CMA teacher benefit event, might not have been.
I don't know.
So
that case,
the ads, well, I mean, but to your point, I know a lot of people that should be there.
But how was that experience regardless?
It was amazing, and I was honored to be there. Just being around my peers, and it was really cool. It was cool to see you doing your thing.
And I obviously, oh yeah. Who?
Yeah, right. And just a lot of my friends, I mean, just like you I saw for the first time on the red carpet, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing.
These are this is what's going on in this place.
This is happening. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then in terms of like career and family and all of that, what, like, if you have a goal for like what maybe it looks like in 10 years?
Balance.
Yeah.
I don't care if I ever become famous. Sure. That'd be great. Cool. But I want to do it the right way.
Yeah.
I have been blessed to see a lot of really close friends become famous, and it is miserable.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be.
Yeah.
I want it to, if I'm there, it's because I built something cool, and like I don't want to blow up.
Yeah.
And nothing good ever comes from blowing up.
Yeah.
I know business people be like, well, we would prefer you blow up.
Yeah.
But I mean, just truly, it just can't, I want to be successful. I want to grow.
Yeah.
So when, I think of 10 years, I want at least another kid. I want to be able to go to all the basketball games.
Happy family first.
And I want to tour and make it a family thing. And that's my goal.
It's awesome. That's great. I love it. You're not going to compromise who you are and your values and your family for.
I used to bend a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like that was, and we didn't know any better. You get in this industry and you're like, same for your industry. I feel like it's just kind of, it doesn't feel like you're selling your soul. It doesn't feel like you're necessarily giving a piece of you away until you look back and you're like, oh, well.
Well, but it's also a very tricky line to tread because you do have to build relationships, and you do have to, like, there's a lot of free stuff that you have to do, and you do have to show up and like make your time, like pay your dues.
Yeah.
So it is a tricky line. I feel like though, once you've been kind of doing this for, I know you've been in town for 11 years, but you started before that. For me, same thing. Like, I'm now 18 years into this. And so I paid my dues.
Yeah, look at it, man.
But I also still do a lot of free work.
Right.
But I choose the free work. It's not my no. I have a much stronger no now than what I did. And so, like, somebody once told me, like, what is your yes really worth if you never say no? And that's how I live now. I'm like, is this going to increase my cup or decrease my cup? How is that going to affect Molly? How's that going to affect the family? Is it going to give glory to God's kingdom? If it's not, and it's just going to be people drinking in a bar and yelling, I don't need to be that.
I feel the same way. I definitely, I felt like I could never say no just because I'm like, well, I'm going to miss an opportunity and someone else is going to get it. It's like, nope. And again, business people will say you're insane, but it is amazing to see the power of the no.
Yeah.
because when you are around, it makes a bigger impact. It's like, oh, I never see Casey, I never see Mary. Like, let's make sure we talk to them tonight and see what they've got going on. And when you have a strong team who also has those values, that's another thing. You have to align yourself with people who have the same values. I know some people will say, well, that's not necessarily true. No, it is. Because when you feed off each other, you understand each other in all aspects of life, that's when you grow.
Well, and I also think you can just get taken advantage of so much when you say yes to everything, because people just expect that you're going to be there.
Well, and that's, I mean, just a full transparency. If there's a new artist listening, something that anytime a new artist, and I know I'm not famous yet, so you would, if I showed up on the CMA Awards tomorrow, you'd be like, oh, that's a new artist. No, I'm talking about the ones that just got here from their hometown. I used to say yes to everything to not miss an opportunity, and the amount of debt that I got into is not worth it 20 years from then when you're trying to buy a house for your family. It's like, I will shout that from that rooftop. You have to be quality over quantity
For sure.
every single time. And I did not know that. I wasn't taught that. And I'll be honest, I'm still working through that. It's very annoying.
Yeah.
But it's also a huge life moment that I'm appreciative of.
Yeah. And then also I feel like when you're walking in partnership with God on like what actually God wants, you don't have to feel that pressure, because there'll be an ease with it. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to like an anxiety.
Right.
And you won't be out of the pocket and be like financially at stress for that, you know? Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good lessons. And I went through the same thing. I used to, when I first came to town, I was like out at the bars every night, couldn't miss a whiskey gin, all that stuff. I was many a times drunkest girl in the bar, which was a terrible lesson to learn. And that's another good one to pass on. And you and I spoke about this on the podcast too, but like, it's very easy in this town to get into like a drinking culture, and which is a nice thing for sure. And like, and everybody does. It's been a nice thing to see a bit of a cultural shift, and maybe that's just our age group. Maybe like once you start having kids and get into your like 30s, people are a little bit, I don't know, but like in my 20s, it was just like, I would get blackout drunks and not even be embarrassed about it and be like totally normal about it. And now I'm like, why would somebody have done business with that girl?
I think a lot too, when you were saying like how things are changing a little bit with like health and alcohol and all that kind of stuff. Obviously I still have alcohol, but like the willpower and the balance is amazing, and something I didn't have when I first got here, and something that you were almost made to feel embarrassed about if you
you're not going to come to the bar.
Yeah, like whatever.
You're not going to come to the after party.
Yeah, I will go be a nurse before I do that crap again. Like, come on.
Also, like, you could have such a better night if you're just like hanging out with friends, having a dinner, like dinner parties. I live for a dinner party.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like having dinner party and people having like wine and food and whatever. Like that's just, you're having such better conversation.
I'm in the age of, instead of mingling and socializing, I want to have fellowship. I just want to sit at our dinner, open a bottle of wine, and just talk to somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and just like really fill our cups, and
That's good stuff.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Well, I feel like all of us that kind of came up together.
Yeah.
We're all feeling the same way, and it's really, really cool.
Yeah, it is. And it's just the Holy Spirit. So
Amen.
I love it. Well, that's a perfect way to end this chat. Thank you so much, Casey, for stopping by. I love you to bits. It's always good to see you. Got to see more of each other, but I know we're both so busy, but it's great to see you.
I love it.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I have a confession to make. I have a terrible sense of direction, and it's no wonder I haven't got lost in the woods or eaten by a bear at this stage, but there's a reason for that, and it's because I have Onyx Hunt. Onyx Hunt is incredible. It's an incredible mapping feature, and it has helped me navigate my way out of some pretty sketchy areas using the compass feature. I've been able to get back to my truck. I've been able to drop pins and waypoints to be able to coordinate how to get to A to B, to be able to find that turkey that I saw on the road and knock and get permission. Guys, though, if you really want to know who's a fanatic at dropping pins, it's my husband, Zach. If you look in his phone, he has thousands of these pins. If it was the 1920s, he'd be able to trade them and get some money out of them. But don't take my opinion. Go and download Onyx today and check it out for yourself. Good luck this fall.
All right. Guys, we are back at NWTF Convention 2026, and I'm here with my good buddy, Drake White.
What's up?
What do you think? It took you a minute to get in because of the traffic, so I want to know what it looks like on the outside, because I got in here at 7 and it was not like this.
Well, I only live, as you know, my farm is about 10 miles, 12 miles from here, and so it took no time to get 2 miles from here, and then you kind of got stuck in the traffic. But it's good to see, man. I mean, there's a lot of people here, and I'm not a giant fan of bumping into every person, but it's also really good to see the outdoors bringing this amount of people to a place, you know. I mean, I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing to bring awareness to hunting and land and animals and all this stuff. So I just try to look at the positive, as you know, my whole style. So
Yeah, I say, like, this is the week that Nashville turns camo.
yeah,
And it's just grown so much. Like, when we started doing the convention 5 years ago, we had just the camper in a bar stool. There was 50,000 people. Last year it was 84,000 people, and I think this year is probably going to be 90,000 people, which is just insane.
yeah. I think it's all in it's all how we do it. You know, as outdoorsmen, it's all how we. You know, I think there's a lot of good conversations going around, and I just think it's cool. I think it's the more the merrier. If you can get into the outdoors, ultimately for me, that's going to show. It gets me closer to God, and if people are seeing God through the outdoors and ultimately getting salvation through the outdoors, then I'm all for it. So
Awesome.
Bring on the numbers.
Great. Well, the last time we spoke, we had you on the podcast. The short film was about to air. That's now been out and it's been circulating, had a lot of great reviews. What's that experience been like for you and people seeing now the story from, more of a visual perspective, I guess?
So yeah, Ladder to the Sky, with out on YouTube right now, and it came out right at the beginning of deer season, so like October, that world, September. And for me, I've always said a rising tide floats all ships, and I like to live by the thought that nothing bad has really ever happened to me. And what that means is when something bad does happen, like a stroke, or when something bad does happen, like losing a kid or whatever, or your grandfather dying or your grandmother dying, whatever it is, that it is God's way of putting you through something to show you, not necessarily that he makes bad things happen to you, but everything bad that's happened to me has turned, the stroke turned into all these unbelievable hunting opportunities and all these music opportunities, all these songs. Mary, my kid, I don't think would be born if I wouldn't have had the stroke. Things that I know would not have happened if not for that hurt and that pain. So that's what this, the documentary is about. It's something that I love, and it's gotten me more into this industry that I love. I'm a musician, as you know. That's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. But the outdoors is very, very close to me, and so I've always wanted to be a part of it, and we are. So.
And we've got at the center of that too, like with each of these, I guess, waves of tests, but also testimonies for God love. Like, have you, with every trial that you've have you had moments where you've had to decide, do I lean in or lean out? Or are you just now so convicted in your faith that it's just not an option?
Oh, I'd love for that to be the case. I'd love for me to be so convicted in my faith that it's not an option, but I am human, and I'm just a broken dude. So I mean, every opportunity that I get, I have to work at it. I have to work at it a lot. You know me well.
Yeah.
I know you well. I know your husband well. I know we have proximity as power, and the people that we choose to be around is 90% of it. If you hang around with 5 losers, you'll probably be the 6th,
Mm-hmm.
And so being around godly people, being around people that do have a glass half full mentality, that do have a mentality of like, if I bait a hook, I'm going to catch a fish.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm breathing for now, man, is if I bait a hook, I'm going to catch a fish. I got momentum. There's something good going to happen for me coming here. I had a little bit of anxiety coming here because there's so many folks here, not because of any reason that it's just I'm human. And so, but I know talking and being in this space and just sharing the story more. I know it's going to bless people, and I know it's not about me. It's ultimately about him. And
Well, and the enemy always does that trickery where it's like God's got something really good planned for you, and then that anxiety starts to happen, or the arguments start to happen before you're leading towards something or whatever it is. And it's like if you push through and go to it, then you're like, now I get it.
Yeah.
That's what was going on.
yeah, that's it, man. I just want to have fun. I want to have fun. I want to be a little deeper than the bathtub. I want to understand what God's purpose is in having me in these places. But ultimately, I don't think it's this esoteric, like, I have a tendency to go to the deep side all the time, but it's not necessarily that. I don't want to say big of a deal, but like everything's not this big deal. Like, be lighter, be fluent, be available,
Fun.
be available, have fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of my focus for the last 6 or 7 years, is just be open to it, and be fun. Be open to new songs, be open to new ideas, new people, and turkey calls and duck calls.
Yeah.
And, kids pooping on you and all that stuff. Like, it's
As
just,
we say, turn around right now. My child won't keep her clothing on.
it's kind of mine too. During that stage of life, I can't say I blame them.
No, if I could be walking around barefoot with Anna, me too. Let's talk turkey season
I was
because
about to say, right, sure. This is not Australia. You can't do that.
legal there. Yeah, in Australia. Let's talk turkey because I always knew that you loved turkey, but then you and Zach turkey hunted together, and it was kind of like, oh, he's as mad at them as Zach is, and
You can't be from Alabama, on that Alabama-Mississippi line without being addicted to turkey hunting. For me, I like the chase. I love camouflage. I love being hidden in the woods. As a kid, I always loved Rambo. I loved painting my face. I loved the feeling of that and the primal kind of spirit that it brought to the woods for me. So turkey hunting, let's be honest, you don't really need camouflage. Sorry, mossy oak or real tree. You don't need camouflage to kill a deer, especially in a redneck blind or something like that. But, for a turkey, you got to get down with it. And the Alabama whole story of the resurrection of the turkey and getting it back in, it's just America's bird to me. And I love being from Alabama. I love a good comeback. I love a good, as you can see, and I like a good underdog story. And that's what I think the turkey was. I love Roosevelt. I love history. Yeah, I made up with it. I like turkey hunting.
when it comes to turkey hunting,
Keep Zach off my damn land.
yeah. So like the kind of behind story on that is Zach got permission to hunt a very good property that Drake already had permission to hunt.
Yeah.
And it's been a thing.
No, it's all good. And I'm messing with Zach. Zach's a very good turkey hunter. I'm on the road. I'm a musician that is turkey hunting in his spare time. Zach is a turkey hunter that listens to music while he kills turkeys. Yeah. So Zach, this property it's a crazy blessing that I kind of tracked the deer that Ladder to the Sky was made off of to this property.
Wow.
Found this property, ended up being some really good friends of mine in Riley Greens.
That's where we hunted and I missed. Well, I didn't miss. I had a Benelli click happen.
Yeah. And we won't talk about that, but we literally started hunting this property. And the guy that did all the dozer works become good friends. I'm surprised he's not here with his kid. And Drew, shout out to Drew. Yeah. Zach got permission. And opening morning, we all know that virgin turkeys that haven't heard a call yet, they're a lot easier to call. They're a lot easier to kill. Well, I'm on the road, and I'm like, man, I'm going to get to go. Because last year was like the 24th of April before we got to hunt turkeys in Tennessee. Late. And so I was so looking forward. In the last 2 years, Zach snuck in there, and he's got the virgin turkey. So this year is my year, Zach.
Zach, we're talking about you. All good.
Yeah.
All good things. All
It's great. It's great things. Love you.
Have you got okay, let's talk about calling. I love talking about calling with musicians because I feel like musicians can pick up on
There's a
calling.
frequency, yeah.
For sure. What is your preferred type of call?
I mean, for me, because of my hands, because of like the left hand thing, like
because of his injury. For those of you that don't know, he had
the stroke debilitated my left hand. So anything with a turkey for me, like filming a turkey, like self-filming a turkey, that's a really hard thing for me to do because I have essentially one hand. So the lighter I can go with my shotgun, the easier that I can go with these bogs and have them in. It's made me a better turkey hunter though, because I am predicting which way that turkey is going to come. Not only am I doing that, I'm setting up and I'm putting my bead right where I think he's coming. And so the mouth call is always going to be because there's a freedom in that. I like the scratchiness and the authenticity of a slate. I mean, with the humidity that happens, and you know, for me, it's a mouth call. It's gonna be my go-to deal.
Have you got a favorite gun?
Man, it's just really my favorite gun is just a 20 for turkeys. It's just a 20 gauge. Either I got a Benelli that I use, and I've
That's
got
why you said to not talk about it.
and I've got just an old Remington that you know my grandfather. But I really like a 12, 20. You know, this new TSS is stupid.
I started hunting with a over-under about 4 years ago because they don't jam up. And I'm like, I only need one shot. I generally do a follow-up because I'm a freak for make sure it's on the ground. But I love shooting my over-under because I don't have to worry about anything jamming up. And it's just,
Yeah, last year I took on with a Snake Charmer 410. With TSS, like it's a one-shot wonder. I get it.
Your property where you guys live, do you have any turkeys there at the moment?
That's where me and Zach killed last year.
Oh, yeah. So let's talk about that hunt.
Yeah. So we go over to the hunt with the land that he stole from me, and we called and we go down. We pushed around.
Not at all salty about this.
We pushed around and we got on some birds, but they didn't do what we wanted them to do because it was late season. Because he'd already called to them for 4 weeks. So I'm like, well, we can go over to my house, like my farm at Whitewood Hollow, and we come in and
But I'm hunting.
Yeah. I hate crepe myrtles. Like I grew up landscaping it.
And he hates them.
And crepe myrtles are worthless, other than, your old white lady that likes crepe myrtles around her garden or something. So, anyway, so this crepe myrtle, this turkey is coming up from my bottom. I've got a great bottom in the back of behind my house. And we go to the end of my barn and we're like looking out. And I look down and there's a Tom coming. He's 40 yards from us, and we crawl back. You've been on that porch.
Yeah.
We crawl backwards on that porch, get off, set up in the crepe myrtle, put my gun on the crepe myrtle, and Colin 20 yards from me smoked in it. And it was awesome. That was last year.
So do you like crepe myrtles now?
Love crepe myrtles.
That's where we moved to down in West Point, we've got 4 crepe myrtles in the yard, and I didn't know Zach hated them so much until we moved there, and he's like, they're the first things to go, and I love them. And I'm like, that's so funny that you hate them too. That's one other thing for you guys to bond on. I didn't realize that's where that happened either, was right by the porch.
It's literally right off the front porch of the barn.
Oh, Drake has the most beautiful, so his wife and him have a entertainment barn, Whitewood Hollow. They have this beautiful bottom where actually Dylan, Carmichael, and Shayla got engaged. We helped set that up. Alex and I did, and we had pedals and everything. And they've got a really great entertainment venue there where they do weddings and all types of functions and stuff. So I'm giving a shout out there because it's beautiful. It's like 15 minutes, 20 minutes out of Nashville, and it's just like a beautiful, gorgeous venue. His wife is like, Alex is an angel, and she is the mostest hostess.
She really is.
Yeah, she is. What are your plans this year then for hunting and music?
So Illinois, I'm gonna kill my first turkey in Illinois. Hopefully, I'm gonna go down and do a lot in Alabama, right on the Mississippi line. Where I grew up in the Black Belt, hunting. I'm gonna kill a bird here if Zach, doesn't mess me up. And music, man, it is on. I mean, we start our European tour next week. We we start in Belfast.
Wait, you and that's been a minute since you've been back to Europe, yeah?
It's been 2 years.
Yeah, okay.
So Belfast, London, and then we do Ireland, Scotland, and then we end in Switzerland.
Are you doing C to C?
It's some form.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
But we're going to Switzerland last, and Alex is flying out. So
Cool.
never been to Switzerland, so looking forward to that.
When is that?
That is next week.
Oh.
So we're February? I don't know when this is airing.
Wow.
So this
Yeah.
all through February.
He'll be in Switzerland as this is coming out.
Yeah. March we're recording some really cool stuff. And then April we start with Riley Green again. And we'll be with Riley basically through April and May. And then we start kind of our tour.
Yep.
Fall tour. So it's on. Like new music's coming. A lot of momentum, a lot of things are happening, and a lot of those bad times or hard times that I talked about going through, you know, the music for me is talking about the redemptiveness of getting out of that, but it's also talking about mixing it with whiskey and all the stuff that you know that you've been listening to for years. So we're excited about the fire starters and what we're building out there on the road, and it's just really cool. It's cool to have a supportive wife, supportive family, and see how God waters those flowers of faithfulness, you know, and grace. He's just so good, so graceful. And I don't know, I can't complain. I'm in a good spot right now. I feel good about my health.
It's awesome.
You know, it's good. As long as Zach don't kill my turkeys, I'm fine.
I love it. I've got a couple last questions for you. So first one would be, what to this day, and it might be really hard to decide, but which song of yours are you most proud of? And I'll do a follow-up after that.
Yeah. My head popped up this song called Life, Love, and War. Right now, I just sang that. I came in from Cabo yesterday. I did a private show out in Cabo for this group. And I came all the way home, and my little boy, I told my wife to let him stay up. He usually goes to bed at 8 o'clock, 7:38. Said, let him stay up till 9. And when I got home at 9, he wanted me to read to him. And he's like, you know, read. And so reading books, you know, just reading the Itsy Bitsy Spider or something, and then reading a Bible talk related book, and then going in and singing Life, Love, and War to him. You know, it's like, there's a cool line in it. I'll sing a little bit of it. It's like, there's a preacher's fire in your eyes, and you smile like your mother. I'm shaking like a Labrador. I've never been a father. And I pray my broken back's your stairs, and my ceiling is your floor. And I hope you walk with Jesus through life, love, and war. So, singing that song to your kid, and just being able to see the grace and the full thing. You know, I mean, we tried for 7 years for Hall, you know, IVF, all the stuff, you know, and then singing that to him after getting off the road, man, that's the good stuff, man. My life is good. My life is good. As long as that is what it is. And that's the beauty that Jesus brings, and the peace is just like, I can do anything. I can face anything as long as I've got that peace that surpasses all understanding. And so that's that song, Life, Love, and War. Singing it last night after being gone for 3 days. That's it.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Last question is, what is an outdoor tradition that you hope never goes?
Man. I think like as a nation, or just as
Just in
Drake White, you know, as a family.
Everything.
Yeah. You know, I hope the tradition of the deer camp never goes. That the fire, you know, I don't really like deer camps with internet service, because the first thing you do when you have internet, I get it, it's nice. We get to work, when we can disconnect and you see everybody telling stories around the fire. I hope that jam around the fire never stops. I hope that the old beat up guitars and Martins and those stories never stop. I hope my son never stops learning how to swing a hatchet, and I hope he always learns how to build a fire and tell a story. You know, I built my whole business around the fire starters, everything. You know, if Jimmy Buffett's got sand and margaritas, I have fire and whiskey, you know, bark and whiskey, flannel. So for me, a fire is man's first social media.
Yeah.
They used to sit around as cavemen, as primal, the natives, the Native Americans used to sit around the fire and say, oh, here's this herd of elk over here. And here's these turkeys over here. And so for me, I hope the tradition of building that fire and keeping that fire going and the art of drying out wood and just keeping a good stack of firewood never fades. Because that's where the stories we have to pass on how to play three chords on the truth. We have to, me and Dylan Carmichael, me and Riley again, we have to pass it down how to breathe before you take the shot. We have to pass it down how a turkey is hard to get to come up the hill, but it's not hard. He's not going to cross the fence. We have to pass that stuff down. This is a turkey track. This is a Cody track, killing. They have to pass it down of how missing is a victory as well. Yeah. And I think that fire for me is what I hope we never lose. Wow, that was great. I should be a writer.
That was deep, Drake. I thought you weren't going to get deep.
Oh, no.
Can't help yourself. You can't help yourself. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Drake White, NWTF 2026. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Perfect.
New Field and Stream Pack provisions, dog food, treats, and supplements fuel your dog's focus, strength, and stamina for your next outdoor adventure. Because your dog works hard and their food should too. Load up on Field and Stream Pack provisions at Tractor Supply or learn more at packprovisionspet.com.
Oh yeah, I think she likes it.
Field and Stream Pack Provisions dog food. Guide rated, adventure ready.
But I've no loss and I've no pain and I've no less. Find half a brain. Lost my world to my own damn greed. Shot myself in the leg and see if I bleed.
All right, guys, and we are back, and I'm here with Leon Meitzen. Now, we were going to have John Langston this morning, and then John has re-injured his already broken leg. He's rolled it on top of that. And I messaged Austin Stapleton and said, dude, I know you know who's hot in town and who I should know. Anyone you can recommend? And he said, I got a guy. Leon Meitzen, let me message him and see if he's free. In steps Leon. You performed Knockout Show. Thank you so much for getting in here so quickly.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you.
I literally just rolled out of bed 2.5 hours ago, so it's good to be here.
That's a kind of intense rolling out of bed and then being thrown into this within that period of time.
I'm used to it.
Is this your first time to convention?
At this convention, yeah.
What do you think?
I haven't seen this many people in one place since ICAST.
So you go to ICAST?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll get into that. And have you ever seen this many people in camo or mossy oak?
Well, I've never not seen this many people.
Tell me about ICAST. Why do you go down to ICAST?
I got a few guide buddies in Florida.
Okay.
But I grew up.
You're from Florida?
Yeah.
Oh.
Right outside of Tampa Bay and Safety Harbor, Florida. Oh yeah.
Big fisherman. What's like your thing?
I love flats fishing.
Okay. Yeah.
On fly.
Oh, awesome. And when did you move up here?
Coming up on 4 years.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about music. Harmonica player, like incredible. And I was so stoked that he recommended you because it's always fun when I hadn't heard of you yet, but I'm definitely a fan. That was amazing. You put on a heck of a show, especially when somebody's playing live and they're that good. That's always great to hear. So tell me about music. When did you start playing? And what was like the journey like moving to Nashville?
I picked up a guitar when I was 9.
Yeah.
And I never put it down. I started playing bars when I was 13. And then I just kind of kept doing that and made the jump to Nashville.
Yeah.
I'm glad I did. I love Nashville. It's been a great experience overall. Honestly, this kind of feels like home, at this point. But pretty much last year, I don't think there was a stint where I was back in town for more than a week or two,
So you got like a groove and you're pretty busy on the road.
The last few years, I'd say the last 2.5, I've pretty much been full-time just on the road. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's been great. I love it. But last year I started bringing the band out. We had some shows opening for some artists I've looked up to for a long time.
Like who?
We did a couple shows with Turnpike, Margot Price, Kit Moore, Drayton Farley, Vincent Neil Emerson. Mm-hmm. Just a lot of great songwriters and, getting getting to get out in front of those crowds and stuff was honestly life-changing, you know.
What has been a highlight for you so far, career-wise?
Playing my first arena gig with Turnpike.
Yeah.
You know, I'd been a Turnpike fan since 2017. Yeah, 2017. I was 17 years old. And I mean, first off, like, the genre wasn't as big as it is now, you know, back then. Like, I never thought I'd see Turnpike play the stadium, much less open.
Be playing for them, yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, that shit's crazy.
Were you shaking before you went out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was.
That's why I love hunting, because I get
shaking.
like that every time before I pull a trigger or something. So it's like,
Oh, for sure, man.
yeah, tell me about that day.
I remember just briefly meeting Evan Felker in the backstage, and I got to shake his hand. I was nervous as hell, you know. He had just come off stage too, so he probably having all the adrenaline and stuff. That he come back, buddy introduced me, and it was brief, but you know, I hadn't washed a hand since. So
Yeah, that's like on the Simpsons, that episode of The Simpsons, where like Bart's got a crush on that girl, and like she spits on his hand. He's like, never washing it. I love it. Let's talk about hunting. You were saying that you got into turkey hunting a couple years ago. Like it's a newer thing.
I've actually never turkey hunted.
Okay. You haven't?
Yeah.
You're friends with Austin. You're gonna have to get him to take you.
Well, that's just another expensive hobby for me to get into.
Well, turkey hunting doesn't have to be that expensive. That's the thing that's good about it, is you can do a lot of door knocking, like elk hunting and deer hunting can be, but turkey hunting, door knocking in the Southeast is a little trickier because people are crazy about their turkeys, but you can still have luck. And all you need to do, you're a songwriter. Generally, musicians are pretty good at picking up a call because you have a musical ear, and you can self-teach through YouTube. So you could self-teach yourself.
Well, I got into duck hunting like 4 years ago.
Okay, that's your thing.
And I've been keeping a duck call in the center console of my truck.
Yeah.
Just like, I mean, that's actually how I learned how to play harmonica. I was trying to quit smoking, and I kept a harmonica in the center console. And every time I'd be driving, I'd just, you know, keep messing with it and stuff. So,
cool. So when did you learn to play the harmonica?
I used to go to this open mic when I was a kid. It was on Indian Shores Beach over in Florida. But there was this guy, his name was Gary Huckleberry.
That's a cool name.
I don't know if it was God-given or, you know, self-given, but Gary Huckleberry, he always used to play the harmonica. He was a great harp player and great slide player and stuff, but I remember just picking his brain a little bit. Must have been like 13 or 14, and he just told me which harmonicas to buy and that kind of thing, and since then I've been messing around with it, but I didn't really hone in on it until I started touring full time.
Tell me this, like when it comes to learning a harmonica, how does one teach yourself?
I mean, YouTube's great. Also, if you meet a Gary Huckleberry, just latch onto him, and
Gary Huckleberry, if you're out there and if you are a real person, please leave a comment, reach out to us. We want to know like how you taught yourself, and we just want to know if you're a real person generally.
Damn right, Gary.
Yeah. Are you coming to the Mossy Oak party tonight?
I think so.
Awesome. It's going to be a great time. Well, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
And if people want to follow you and like see what you're doing this year, how do they do that?
Instagram, Spotify. I keep all my shows updated. I'm always going somewhere, always playing. You find me at Leon Maitzen, LeonMajcen. Maitzen, like you might sin or you might not.
I phonetically wrote his name on here, Might Sin.
Might sin.
So,
Probably will.
yeah. Thank you for stopping by. Cheers.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Since 1973, the National Wild Turkey Federation has been working tirelessly to conserve the wild turkey and to preserve our hunting heritage. Today, the need for hunters to get involved is just as important as the wild turkey is facing declines, and the continuation of our outdoor pursuits are at risk in many parts of the country. Visit NWTF.org and join for just $35 to leave a lasting legacy that will help conserve wildlife and unite a nation through life-changing power of the outdoors.
The Palomino princess is all a cowboy needs to face a long, hard day. So won't you climb on up and grab the reins?
And we're back, guys. I'm here with Tyler Booth. It is day 2 at Country Outdoors booth, NWTF Convention 2026. Tyler, thank you so much for coming over and performing.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Look at this sea. Is this not crazy?
This is awesome.
This is the busiest I've ever seen it.
And it's like you would think with so many people here that you wouldn't recognize anybody out of the crowd that you know, but I've ran into 5 or 6 friends already, and I've just been here for 45 minutes.
It's just like a big old family reunion. I love it. Well, a lot has happened with you since we last chatted. I want to say that podcast that we did, so many comments that I got on that little clip on us asking the turtle ones.
Yeah.
That was like a sensational moment. But since then, I think you got engaged.
Yeah.
Got engaged. Congratulations. Big news. And then also just signing with Jamie Johnson, partnering with Jamie Johnson and Big Gas Records. And I know you've got a new single coming out very soon as well, Clean Dirt, on 27th of Feb. So this should be dropping right now and as this episode is airing.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited, y'all.
Tell us about it all. It's been in the works, obviously, for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Clean Dirt, we started writing that, I want to say, well, Brian Davis and Phil O'Donnell started writing that song probably back in 2014, and they'd set on it. They just had the title and the hook, and 3 or 4 years later, I get in the writing room with them, and they're like, we got this idea called Clean Dirt, and it's 3 nails, 2 boards, 1 man to clean dirt, and it's just like a redemption, like, gospel song. And I was like, I like that. I like that idea. And we wrote it and knocked it out pretty quick. And, you know, I recorded that song maybe 4 or 5 times and never really felt like I quite got the message across. But I finally got a good recording of it, and I'm like, all right, this is it. This sounds right.
You were doing it justice at that time.
Yeah. And then I let Jamie hear it. I let Jamie hear everything when, you know, we're traveling, or if I'm just hanging out with him, we'll listen to music and stuff. And that one, I think, got his attention. And he was like, I'd love to sing on it with you. I was like, well, heck yeah, that'll be great. And Jamie's also going to marry me and Ray. He's going to be the preacher at the wedding, the ordained minister. So
Has he done that before?
Yeah, I think he did it for Marcus King, if I'm not mistaken, and maybe somebody else. I'm not quite sure.
How did you go about asking him?
I just asked him.
Yeah, you just say, would you do it? And he was like, I'd be honored.
That's what exactly what he said. He said, I'd be honored. I like how Jamie talks.
And then tell us about like the partnership with Big Gas Records, and like that was the announcement this week. So that will be a few weeks ago when this comes out, but let's talk about that.
Yeah, I got a great team right now, and it feels like it all kind of came together real organically. It felt like it came together the way it's supposed to. Everybody there's, you know, got great attitudes and a good work ethic, and we just love music. We all love music, and we try to give the songs justice and make sure that people can hear them. And, you know, I just got a great team, great people, and very blessed to have them. And it was just time to announce it and let everybody know. And so, yeah, it's Jamie's record label, Big Gas. And I guess you'd call it a joint venture with Average Joe's, which is Colt Ford's label. Yeah, I've known Colt forever, too. But yeah, I got a great team. And the Irv Woosley Company.
Yeah.
Which is one of the OG management companies in Nashville. Sure. Legendary. Irv Woosley. Yeah, so
it's so important as well. And I feel like the group that you've got are all grounded and share very similar values. And I feel like just in life, having people in your close network that have the same values it's so important for everything in life, for career, for family, community, everything.
Yeah, just having a place to fall back to, having somebody to bounce ideas off of, or if you mess up, you know, they'll tell you in a nice way that you messed up. And then, you know, it's good to have people like that to keep you accountable. And yeah, I just got a great team. They're awesome people.
That's awesome. Well, we're excited to see what happens this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're at the NWTF, and so you shared this story on our podcast, but I'd love for you to just retell it because we are here.
your first turkey hunt?
Oh,
It was your grandma's, right?
oh gosh, I can't remember what I said.
It was the back of the holler.
It seemed like I called one in and shot it.
I don't even know if you did shoot it, or did you shoot it?
Oh yeah, I was embarrassed because you know, I guess shoot, my brain didn't work.
This happened to me yesterday. I was talking to Macarena and I had a brain freeze and I go, hey, for like 5 seconds.
Man, I don't know.
Why don't you share your favorite outdoor moment?
Oh, my favorite. I'll tell you my least favorite. I have a 37-acre farm back home in Kentucky, and we don't really farm much because we started playing music and touring, and it was just too much to keep up. Keeping the fences up and feed.
Yeah.
Different things, and we just kind of rode with the music since I was 14-year-old. But I bought this big muddy tree stand, the Muddy brand, and it was a double seater, and it's it's just nice. It was real nice, and anyway, next year I go up there to check it out and check the feeders, make sure they're still there, and the whole tree stand was gone. Somebody stole it off the tree, and it had to be hard because it's a huge stand and it's heavy, and it took me and Dad to put it up, and it was a tough one to kind of get up there, and so I kind of give them, I just say, hey, if they, worked that hard to get it, they earned it, because it couldn't have been easy to drag that thing off the hill,
They must have done it in the middle of the night or something.
Yeah, but that was disappointing. That time wasn't fun.
I can't stand a thief.
My favorite time,
I know you love to fish as well.
I do love fishing, yeah. It's fun. Yeah, I got a pond at the house, and we got carp and bass and crappie and bluegill and just all that good stuff.
Do you bow fish the carp?
No, I never got into the bow fishing.
We need to do that.
You do?
Yeah, we need to do that up at yours, up in Kentucky, because the Kentucky River has got tons of them too,
Oh, yeah.
silvers and stuff. We need to organize that sometime this year.
Carp are hard to catch.
Well, when you're shooting them though, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are those earmuffs bugging you?
Huh?
Are those earmuffs bugging you?
No, I just I lost a little bit of audio level. I can't hear
Okay.
a lot.
Hold on.
Maybe the microphone we did see.
Can you hear now?
Check 1, 2. It might just be in my head, or I don't know. What was he talking about?
Favorite outdoor moment?
I don't really have one in particular.
Yeah,
No.
got so many.
Yeah, it's hard.
So your single comes out, and then what are the plans for hitting the road?
Well, I've been talking with a booking agent, and they're really excited. And they've been kind of waiting for a moment, like a little catalyst or something to just kind of, before we start working and hitting the road hard, that we have this plan laid out and we have all the songs we want, coming out in a timely manner, and, just all that kind of stuff, and fixing to sign a booking agent, and
That's exciting.
hopefully get busy this year.
Yeah.
About midway through the year, maybe second term or something.
And other than that, it's wedding planning.
Yeah, other than that, just wedding planning.
Are you involved in the planning?
I told Dragon, I said, I pay for it, you plan it. That's how it works. So
Well, that's every girl's dream, to have somebody say, here, I'll pay for it, you book it.
yeah, I pay for it, you book it, and yeah, that's a pretty good system right there.
I love it.
And yeah.
Well, are you going to go around the show floor after this and check out some goodies, or what?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna walk around and see what I can find. I probably won't get to turkey hunt this spring just because hopefully I'll be playing a lot of shows, and but I still like to go around and look at all the turkey calls.
You'd still drop some pins on properties where you see them and keep that in mind for the next year.
Yeah. I remember I did something with the Camping World one time, probably 4 or 5 years ago, and back then they had cool stuff like canoes or like camouflage gear and bows and guns and all this. Now they just do like campers and trailers, and
Yeah,
it used to be a cool place, and I'm not sorry Camping World. Not trying to diss on you, but oh yeah, I did a little show for him during COVID and got online, or not online, but on TV, and they had like a broadcast, and I played there.
We did that too.
Yeah, and they gave me a gift card for like $500.
Zach and I did that too. I think they went through a phase where they were like leaning into the outdoors phase, and then something happened and they just decided they weren't doing it anymore.
But it was cool. I got coyote calls, like rabbit distress call, and I got all kinds of diaphragm calls and a little box call and pair of boots. But it was cool. $500. I had a ball. I thought about getting one of them little Coleman box. You ever see the little bitty box at like a Rural King or something? I thought about getting those. They're fun.
What I love about you is it doesn't matter how popular you get or how much money you make. You're still just a redneck. And
Oh, yeah.
you're like, I got a free $500 gift card.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I should have got that Coleman bike. I would have put it in my trailer, and whenever we stopped to play somewhere, I could just hop on it and run to the store or something. That would have been fun.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Guys, go and check out the new single, Clean Dirt, out now. Hopefully there's some shows that people can go and check out here soon as well. But thank you for stopping by and coming to the show again, Tyler.
Thank you, Mary. It was
Always great to
fun.
see you.
Thank
And
you
if
so
you
much.
haven't checked out our podcast that came out last year on Country Outdoors Podcast, now with Field and Stream, go check it out. You can learn about Tyler's entire story. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Round here we all thank heaven for God's grocery store.